Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. Well, it's been 1 week since I filled up my compost bins, so let's take a quick look at them to see where they're at right now and to do the first bin flip. The first bin here is one that was already been filled up multiple times, and it was about half full when I started filling it up. So you can see the level on here is dropped because it was up above the level of the pallets. Next up is the second bin. Now this one had gotten mostly full, and you can see now it's only like half full. This bin had been topped off twice, and now it's not quite at the halfway point, but it's not too far from it. The leaf mold bin, it's definitely got the level dropped down about a foot. This is the Johnson Su bin. I'm going to show you that in just a second. And then this bin wasn't full already, but this is going to be a new Johnson Su here. This is the Johnson Su I'd started last year. So you can see that material looks really nice now. It's all fully broken down and it's ready to be put on the beds. For the brand new bed where I filled it up with leaves and I got it now topped off with horse manure. And then down on this side, I got the very top topped off with the Johnson Su compost. So one of the things I need to do today is finish putting the Johnson Su on this side of the bed, and then this bed will sit until springtime. I finished covering this bed with the Johnson Su compost. So now all I have to really do with this bed is I'll lay some woven ground cover over the top of it, secure it down, and let that sit over the winter time. Then this bed will be ready for planting come spring. What I'm going to do for my first bin flip is I'm going to go and flip this bin, which is the oldest bin with material, and flip it into this one that's already half full. This bin is probably a little bit smaller than this one in terms of size, just because it's a little bit more narrow. But if I don't have quite enough room in this bin, then I'll flip the extras into this bin to the left of it. With the pallet taken down, you can kind of see all the layers of materials that are in here, with the manure and the leaves here being the top. You won't quite see it in the camera, but there's a couple worms in here too. And I got a thermometer in there, and the temperature right now is at 90 degrees. So I'll go ahead and get this flipped over, and then we'll evaluate what the level is after that. Now you can kind of see that the pumpkin I added in here last week, it's already starting to break down. Look at that. That was a good sized pumpkin. You can see it in last week's video, but you can also see, well, you can see a little bit of steam coming off there from the heat. But the leaves, you know, they got all that like whitish grayish color stuff on it, and that's the fungi that's helping to break all this down, which is another reason why I need to get the bin flipped, is to get a better mix of all the materials. So the first bin flip will be here, and then next week I'll flip this one back, and then flip the bin over here on the left into the center. I got the first bin emptied out. Second bin is full. I got the thermometer back in there. Now this material will just keep breaking down, and then since I filled this one up, I used some of the extra materials from the first bin and put them in here. Now this material here on the bottom is kind of in a semi-completed state. So it's semi-completed compost on the top here, and that'll be just fine. There's some worms and stuff mixed in there. Now I could definitely top this bin off a little bit more with, say, some leaves and horse manure, and that's something I'm going to be doing today. Next up, I'm going to be filling up my Johnson Su compost bin. You can see I got my pipe in here to create like an air pocket right there in the center. And on the near side, I've already wet down those leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and add some horse manure to it now. Kind of mix this up a little bit on this side. Wet that down. And I'm going to move some of the leaves over on top of that horse manure. I'll get some water on this other side. Add some more horse manure over to this other side. I get that mixed around. The idea here is really just to create these layers where I have like a layer of leaves and then a layer of the horse manure. And when I did this last year, you can see that compost came out really nicely. And I'll just keep doing this process where I'll alternate the horse manure with the leaves, wetting it down as necessary until the bin is full. I got the Johnson Su bin mostly full. I ran out of horse manure for today, so that'll be as full as it's going to get today. Maybe tomorrow I'll go and get some more and then finish topping it off the rest of the way. Well, with my composting well on its way, now it's just a matter of keeping the bins kind of full until it gets too cold out to bother with doing that. And then, like I said, next weekend I'll flip the middle bin to the outside and then the left bin to the center. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And until then, I hope you enjoyed, got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.